Spencer Pratt is the only political candidate that I've ever heard of that gets way more popular and famous after losing his race. Spencer Pratt is an absolute phenomenon. He just off the heels of meeting with Donald Trump in the White House. Big time meeting, by the way. Here you can see Susie Wiles is there. I believe this is Spencer Pratt's father and his son, which is a really cool group to bring to meet the president. But Donald Trump there with his chief of staff in a solo meeting, that is commanding some real respect. They clearly respect what happened to Spencer Pratt. They know that he was cheated, just like the president. You can see that quite plainly here, where areas that Nikki Rahman doesn't represent suddenly flood in votes after Election Day. What are these areas? Oh, it's downtown Los Angeles where all the homeless people live. And then suddenly, for absolutely no reason, Nikki Rahman just skyrockets and stops campaigning. Isn't that amazing? She stopped. You haven't heard anything from her. She hasn't done any press releases. She hasn't done any events. The machine worked. They kicked out Spencer Pratt, and now Karen Bass gets to go and win. Ooh, man. And they did the same thing to Steve Hilton. Steve Hilton was ahead by millions on election night. He won walking away with it. You can see the entire state was purple. This is the Steve Hilton color. But Xavier Becerra ended up, nobody even knows who Xavier Becerra is. Joe Biden, he worked for Joe Biden. Joe Biden couldn't even pronounce his name. But Xavier Becerra ends up winning the total overall votes, a sign of what they're going to plan on doing to Steve Hilton, who says he wants to campaign with Spencer Pratt. Pratt made a real impact, Steve Hilton says. Steve Hilton says that he would love to campaign with Spencer Pratt.
100%. He made such an incredible impact. It's an absolute travesty that Los Angeles as a city won't have the same choice that the whole state will have. He laid out incredible plans. Of course, everyone talks about his amazing campaign ads.
Well, wait a second. What if you could do those campaign ads, Steve? And that's exactly what Steve Hilton's done. Steve Hilton just released The People versus the Machine. Here's our first ad from the people who created the fantastic videos for Spencer Pratt. Oh, baby. And it is an absolute barn burner. Here we go.
As long as the machine rules California, nothing will ever change.
The homelessness problem continues to worsen in California.
Gas prices in the state have reached a record high.
Another local favorite has closed down in Santa Monica.
Things have just gotten so expensive. I don't know if we can continue living here. We just want someone, anyone, to hear us.
Okay, we've got to figure out this governor thing. I'd do it forever, but it's my turn to be president. Bring in the machine.
The Democratic nominee is Javier Becerra.
Huh? The Biden guy who lost all those kids?
Can't be right. Run it again.
Becerra.
Becerra, welcome. The machine picked you.
The machine?
Thing we created to make sure nothing ever changes. As long as you submit to the machine, you don't have to do anything.
Nothing? I can do that.
I believe all the things that Newsom believed. 4 more years. 4 more years.
So, what do you think? It went well?
That was worse than...
Who else is tired of the highest taxes in the country? The highest gas prices in the country? The worst homelessness in the country? This is our state, not the machines! That's what we're fighting for!
Taxes are going up. Do not resist.
Nobody's ever stood up to the machine before.
It's time to take California back!
Can we get Swalwell back? Run it again.
AI is getting so insane, dude. AI is getting so good. The way that they're able to capture Gavin and Kamala, just like them as like inspirational. I don't know if it's going to work. I hope it does. Here's Charles Huron. Enough is enough. Let's fix California. This is the man who makes these videos. Incredible. Steve Hilton Unleashed. Very effective ad. Leaves a critical element. How do you destroy the machine? That's exactly right. Maybe that's next. What a banger. GOAT. Excellent video. We need to fix California. Tell you what, man. I don't like what happened. Makes me angry to this day. We talked to Harmeet Dillon. She's from California. About the problems in California and what she can do to fix it. She works for the DOJ. How are you going to solve the election fraud in California? We asked Harmeet. Yeah, it's going to take more than just fancy ads. Here we go. This is facilitating a felony, a federal felony. Mm-hmm. So what are you going to do about the illegals that voted, that of course know that they're not American citizens? They went into rig elections. They know they're not allowed to vote. Nobody stopped them. I guess there's a problem there, but those individuals made a choice and they committed a crime in America.
Well, I'm not going to call them illegals. They may be green card holders. It's still illegal for them to have voted, to be very clear, though. And so what I want to say about that is that we have been doing prosecutions here throughout the United States quietly. It's, you find them one at a time and then you prosecute them one at a time. You have to go send either Homeland Security investigators or FBI to go take statements and then check. I mean, I just checked some lists that some activists sent me recently, and we're very careful before we accuse somebody of illegally voting. So first step, demand those names. Second step, verify that they voted. I don't trust anything New Jersey is telling me at this point. So, and then, they are subject to both prosecution as well as removal from the United States. And certainly when people come up for citizenship, they're asked that question, have you voted? And some people proudly say, well, yes, I did. I've been voting for years. That makes you ineligible to become a United States citizen. So we are going after this all over the country.
So, so you're saying, I mean, because this is something that I constantly ask. There needs to be a warning sign effectively printed out. I think this is happening really, really nicely with the fraud issue, where people are seeing that there are actually consequences to engaging in hundreds of millions of dollars of fraud against these people of the United States of America. The wheels of justice are grinding slowly, but it's nice to see. There have been some big stories that we've been able to cover that, like, this guy committed fraud and now they're going to prison. This person, this woman committed fraud, now she's going to jail. Be really nice to see, like, hey, these 400 people voted illegally. They stole the votes of American citizens. To paraphrase J.D. Vance, like they neutralized the votes of actual legal Americans, and now they're all going to be deported. Like, that'd be nice,
Well, you're preaching to the choir here. I mean, just understand that we've already been doing this at DOJ. We want to amplify it. I think it's also important that we actually have some public service announcements out there, and stay tuned. You should be seeing those coming as well. Like I said, I was mocked for warning public officials that they needed to stop this, and in fact, it's very necessary. And so we are drawing attention to this issue, and everyone watching this should tell their neighbors who are maybe here legally but not American citizens the consequences of voting when you're not allowed to in a federal election can mean removal to your home country and worse. It's a crime, and people need to just stop cold in their tracks and not enable it. And shame on New Jersey for its sloppy and incompetent handling of this issue, or worse.